Hello and welcome. My name is Parthsudar Gupta, and I'm here to share a few of my thoughts with you on the Messi saga. The first and the only time that I saw Lionel Messi in flesh and blood was on the 2nd of September 2011 at the Salt Lake Stadium in Kolkata when he captained the Argentinian side for the first time against Venezuela in a FIFA friendly international. I was working with the magazine The Helka at that point in time as a special correspondent and was privileged to watch the match from the press box. Messi was on the pitch for the entire duration of the match, and the only goal that Argentina scored and won the match, of course, was by Otamendi, which came from a corner taken by Messi. Of course, I didn't pay a penny to watch that match. And the 85,000 spectators who were on the ground also did not pay too much. They would probably have paid roughly the same amount of money that they usually pay to watch a football match in Kolkata. 14 years down the line, Lionel Messi came to India again and came to Kolkata again. This time for a purpose which is at least not known to me. Somebody who runs an event management company decided that Messi should come and wave his hands at his fans in 4 different cities of Kolkata so that both he or his company and Messi could rake in some mullah. Well, that is absolutely all right. The point is, why did people spend that kind of money? The answer is very simple: hero worship. Now, there's nothing wrong in hero worshipping. We have all had heroes in our lives, and we've all worshipped them in some form or the other. Calcutta itself has seen hero worshipping to extremes. I have been told by my parents stories about when Nikolai Bulganin, the then premier of the Soviet Union, the erstwhile Soviet Union, and Nikita Khrushchev, the leader of the Communist Party of the erstwhile Soviet Union, came to then Calcutta in 1955, and there were millions of people, something like 20, 30 lakhs of people on the roads, and it got so chaotic that these two leaders had to leave their limousines and were escorted in some police truck to navigate through the lanes of the city. Then in 1961, again, I was not born then. Again, this is a story I heard from my parents. Yuri Gagarin, the first man in space, who went to space in April 1961, came to Calcutta in November 1961 for some kind of a peace mission. And again, he was given a hero's welcome. These things are very normal and natural. So if Messi, who has been the most celebrated footballer over the last 25 years and probably the best footballer to have ever played the game, arguably, if he comes to a football crazy city like Kolkata, it is no surprise that he'll be given a hero's welcome and people would die to catch a glimpse of him in flesh and blood. Till this point, everything was fine. The questions that I have are about the money that people spend to watch Messi, not to play football, but to be just there. I'm told that the range of ticket prices was from 4,000 rupees to 20,000 rupees. So if you look at an average of 10,000 rupees a ticket and multiply by the 85,000 seats in Salt Lake Stadium, even assuming that only 80% of the seats were filled, then we are talking of 70,000 seats multiplied by 10,000 rupees per seat works to around 70 crores INR. Add to that the opportunity cost of another 4 or 5 hours before and after the match. I'm sorry, the event that people spent. So we are talking of roughly spending of 100 crores on a particular day for a particular event. Now, there is something in economics called a cost benefit analysis. So when you incur a cost on anything, you're looking at benefits, unless it's charity. You spend, Calcutta spent 100 crores. What did Calcutta get? Nothing. It got chaos. Hypothetically, even if there was no chaos and there was a very smooth running of the entire event for about 45 minutes, what would still be the benefit? Nothing really, except that people who were in the stadium that day would probably be able to tell their grandchildren that we saw Messi firsthand in flesh and blood right in front of our eyes for about 45 minutes. Doing what? Not playing football, waving hands as us, probably kicking a few footballs in the stadium, probably doing a bit of handshaking with people. That's it. I'm not going to question whether it's worth it. People must have thought that it's worth it to spend that kind of money to watch Messi in flesh and blood. But if you look at our nation, we are not a footballing nation. We are not a sporting nation at all. We are nowhere in the sports horizon of the world. We don't play sport. We are not athletic. We don't even exercise. We don't have a healthy lifestyle. Most of us don't even run. We have not touched a football ever in our lives. We just celebrate the sport. Worse, we celebrate sports personalities who have really struggled and put in a lot of hard work to be where they are. It's no surprise that we are where we are in the FIFA ranking and in ranking of any other sport which is played physically. I'm not talking of chess. There's no sporting culture here. Now, one can argue that if we look at nations which are considered sporting giants, or let us say footballing giants, there's much more euphoria surrounding football teams and football players. Yes, I agree. People are extremely passionate and obsessed with footballers and teams. In nations which are known to play football, like European countries or Latin American countries, but they have a football culture. Everybody plays football there or plays some sport at some level. Why? Because sports is an integral part of their lives. It is as integral as getting a degree or getting a job or making money or raising a family. They can't imagine life without sport. We are not like that. So if you could just look at the arithmetic of 100 crores being spent on one day, what could you do with 100 crores? Only if you talk of football, you could probably build 100 decent football turfs in different parts of the state, or you could build like 25 great footballing turfs, open 20, 25 academies, or let us say one great football turf in every district, one great football academy in every district. You could distribute scholarships to upcoming footballers. You could employ coaches, trainers, and pay them reasonably good salaries. You could organize pensions for retired footballers. And there's a host of things that you could have done with those 100 crores. What did you do? You squandered 100 crores in 30 minutes flat because you wanted to hero worship. It's not a value judgment that I'm making. I'm simply talking of how we lose opportunities and how our priorities are misplaced. Now, I'm sure there is a school of thought where people subscribe to, where they'll come up to me and say that they'll probably paraphrase that famous line that C.L.R. James wrote. What do they know of cricket? Who only cricket know? They'll probably come back to me and say, what do they know of football? Who only football know? Messi is far beyond that. I agree. Messi is once in a lifetime footballer. It makes every sense to catch a glimpse of him uh, by hook or by crook. But spending so much money to just see him, where you will not spend probably a 10 rupee note if somebody approached you to ask for a donation to raise funds to create a football turf or an academy, and you call yourselves football lovers. You're not football lovers. You're just a bunch of hapless losers who can be easily swayed by a bunch of businessmen who know how to make money. And you're more than eager to, uh, raise funds for him. I think it's a little shameful. And I think it points to a serious ailment in our society. And I think it's time that we sat down and thought as to what is seriously wrong with us, where we are ready to spend 100 crores on seeing a footballer for 45 minutes and having nothing to do with the game of football or sports in general for the rest of our lives. I think this is something that's worth pondering, and I just expressed what I felt. You're free to agree or disagree, but if you really have to comment, don't get personal because that stinks. Thank you very much.